This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, boy.
Welcome.
It's great to be here today on
DCOM Descendants. We practiced it 3 times, Aaron. All 3 times you were perfect, and then we got to the real deal,
well,
and you were
listen,
like, nah, thanks.
Before we pressed record, we had decided we were shutting it down for the day. So I'm just in
That's
that
true.
mode where I
Shut
was
it down.
told I could go home at.
It's a good thing we don't have to do 2 of these, you know?
We definitely don't. So hypothetically, if it was 9:15 in the morning, I'm planning to go home already. So.
It's true, hypothetically.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to DCOM Descendants, a very simple show where we watch every Disney Channel original movie in order.
In order. And not the
Which,
DOMs,
by
just
the way,
DCOMs.
DCOM Daily Minutes. The DCOMs are coming back.
I know.
It's no longer Disney
It is the
movies
funniest
or
thing in the
whatever.
world to me, where they released like 2 movies as Disney originals.
That's right.
And then the new one coming out is a Disney Channel original movie.
By the definition, though, we have to skip those 2 and go straight to the new
No.
ones. Is that how that works?
No, they aired on Disney Channel.
I know, but it's not.
not.
It is it's a murky place.
A gray area.
Yeah, but one of them is a Descendants movie. Like, we're gonna have to watch
We
that
got to
one.
do the Descendants.
we
gotta
need
do
the
this-
show after it. We've never seen those movies. Well, I've not, and
I
Brand's
have.
not,
I
right?
have.
But we will, yes.
Big
But we
fan.
will have seen. We will have
How do
seen
you
them by
feel,
the
though, Aaron?
time.
Big fan.
We will have seen them by the time we need to watch that one. You know what I mean?
Yes, by the time we get to the 4th Descendants movie,
We
you
will
will
see
have
the
seen
other
the original.
That's right.
first
That's
three.
how that works.
Shout out to someone named Josh who on the Cowbells
Your brother?
episode. I don't know.
But you
who on
never
the,
shout out as brother of the week?
I never shout out Jesse.
Jesse. That's right.
I would. I 9 times out of 10 shout out Josh.
It's been more Pat, I feel like. But that's,
Cowbells episode, they commented on Spotify and just said, "So proud of Brand for knowing words and eating yogurt." And I appreciate it, Josh. It's just good to be seen.
yeah. We do have a new Apple podcast review.
yes, we
up
do.
to 168 out of the 300 needed.
It's pretty good.
This is from CED 1105. Shout out CED 1105. Said is what I'll call you. Said says, this podcast saved journalism. Glad to know that real reporting is not dead. I'm so
right.
thrilled. I'm thrilled.
We're journalists.
Which
We're
episode
journalists.
on that one?
It has to be something that Brand mentioned offhand.
And Cowbells or something.
yeah, right?
You would think so.
I don't know.
We save journalism, and that's what matters.
So we should stop the printers.
Stop the printers. Stop the printers.
Stop the
'em.
printers.
Stop them. We saved
Stop
you.
printing.
And I also think that this is worth mentioning for DCOM Daily Minute. Melanie left a comment on the High School
Oh, yes,
Musical
we should talk about
review,
this.
and it was very nice. Talked about how they listened to the show after going on a long trip, and it was so great, like catching up with friends. Happy that Dan wasn't too hard on the movie. But then they finished the review with Kenny Ortega has confirmed that Bop to the Top wasn't a song in the musical.
Phew.
It was just a song that Ryan and Sharpay made up and decided to audition with. And so the whole conversation that we had about what is this musical?
We still don't know.
We don't know.
But it at least
We're
becomes
getting some clarity.
a little bit more.
Yes, we
yeah,
know that Minnie
understand.
and Arnold would not be singing "Bop to the Top."
Bop, 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 bop
So-
to the top. That's exactly right. Today we are talking about Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior.
Yeah, we are.
Legend and diehard Lakers fan, Brenda Song.
Die Hard Lakers, so tough day for her.
DCOM Daily Minute. I know, obviously. Rest in peace to the Lakers, obviously.
Also, rest in peace to the Canadians.
To the Canadians,
Yeah.
to the Magic.
Rest in peace to all the good ones out there.
All the
Pour
good
one
ones
out
out
for
there.
pour one out for your homies.
Well, didn't the Canadians just get kicked out of the Stanley Cup?
They lost and they're out of the playoffs. So the Lakers last night and the Magic.
Yeah.
The Magic were 2 nights ago, but yeah.
I didn't know they were that close.
Brenda Song.
Your Celtics that you care deeply about.
Disney Channel legend Brenda Song leading this one. But lots to get to, lots to talk about, obviously, but none of it could be possible without a delish.
That's right.
It's where Aaron brings something, a food, a drink, something that we can consume that is in some way related to the movie, kind of get us in the mindset of Wendy Wu.
Yeah.
So what'd you make for us this week, Aaron?
So this week, Aaron.
What Asian-inspired dish?
That's right. From Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior.
I wasn't gonna try to make an Asian-inspired dish. That's
I
not
would have loved that.
Coward.
9 in the morning. We're eating sushi.
Yeah.
Sushi would actually probably work for both.
Can I tell you what's driving me nuts, and I don't know why, because sometimes the stacks are uneven. It's a box of cookies. Those stacks should be even when you open that box, right?
I've had one.
Oh, okay.
That
I feel
makes
better.
sense. I
I
was
feel
like,
better.
did you buy a,
It's gonna go right
did you buy
here.
a
There we
box
go. We're
of,
good to
did you buy a box of 11 cookies?
It's like,
Eating
so
some.
you've been robbed.
I've been eating some.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna make chocolate chip cookies
Right.
because we
Sounds
talked
great.
about how handing out raisin cookies
It's just dumb.
for homecoming was
It's
like
good.
That's a
was
mistake.
dumb. Was just like that's not how you get the votes. A good
Chocolate chip all the
solid
way.
chocolate chip cookie is the way to go.
The chocolate chip vote bump is
Yeah.
It's real.
it's big.
So I was gonna make them, and then it was almost like I had to prepare 2 delicious, and just ran out of time and had these cookies and said, you know what? They're perfectly good cookies. Why was I gonna bake
What you're gonna waste?
24 more
Yeah.
cookies?
You were gonna bake 24 more, huh?
I don't know.
2 does.
Yeah, it's usually what a recipe is.
Really? Wow.
So I feel like I didn't eat that many chocolate chip cookies in my life. I'm not running for homecoming queen.
Have you considered it though?
Yeah.
I've never considered it. My high school didn't do homecoming, so I've
You could
never.
you could run for office queen.
So where are these cookies from?
Oh, Hot Publix,
Hot Publix.
obviously.
Publix doesn't make a bad chocolate chip cookie.
The cookie.
So these are from Hot Publix. Shout out.
It meets the brand standard for cookies.
Oh, is it a cookie? Yeah, I guess it's job done.
Yeah,
All right.
And I'm gonna vote for you for homecoming.
perfect.
Wow.
I know you're
For Office
worried.
Queen.
Office
Yeah,
queen.
I wasn't sure, but now that
This is
I've
like
had a
Employee of the
cookie,
Month all over
right.
all over again.
So not for Read It and Weep episode because
We haven't watched the movie
hypothetically, we're recording that soon, and I don't have time to go home and change. But for the episode after that, which might be Cheetah Girls, I'll be wearing my Office Queen tiara.
yet. Okay. Fair. Fair.
But I guess.
I mean, the votes aren't in yet, but fair.
vote Brand for office queen.
Oh, whoa.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there.
You're throwing your hat in the ring.
Throw my hat in the ring. Everybody, you think about it during this break. Who you're gonna vote for?
It's so funny because I also am throwing my hat in the ring for office queen.
Gosh,
And I
this
just
has
heard
been-
from Brian, he's doing the same thing.
We'll be right back. DCOM Descendants. Welcome back.
What if we each vote for ourselves? It's a tough spot.
The rules is you can't.
Wow.
Can't vote for
So
yourself.
leave a rating and review on who you vote for office.
There you go.
Yeah. So, Erin, she wanted to
She
make
did
chocolate.
not. She brought cookies from
She-
home
but
after
she
she'd
brought
eaten one
chocolate.
out of the box. So they were uneven.
And what's interesting is we actually can't tally the votes until we get 140-ish.
132 would be fine.
Yeah, 132 votes. I think we will finally start to do the tally. But
Leave a review on Apple. Once we get to 130, we'll decide who the office queen is. You have to
listen,
put-
if that gets us to a total of 300 reviews on Apple Podcasts, then what can you do?
whatever, so be it.
So be it.
Yeah.
So we're in agreement that whoever gets the most votes is wearing a tiara for the Cheetah Girls 2 episode.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Got it.
Wendy Wu,
Vote for her.
Homecoming Warrior.
I'm kind of like Team Brain or Dan, honestly.
No, I got it. I got a good.
His head,
So a
would,
tiara would be so with your headphones.
his head would swallow that tiara whole.
That's exactly right. You wouldn't be able to see it.
Vote Dan for homecoming, office homecoming queen.
Vote Aaron. I think we can vote Aaron safely at this point. It was all fun.
Just leave a review. We'll tally it up when we get to 132.
I'm going to wear the tiara backwards.
Ooh, that's cool. This could be a trend. This movie aired on June 16th, 2006. So right during summer vacation.
I might have still been in school.
That's crazy.
That's just the people up north do it wrong.
When did you finally get out of school?
Well, so like we would normally go until early June, and then it would just depend on snow days.
Put on a snow day.
Yeah.
Like
There was one year that we were in school until like the week of June 20th. It was disgusting.
that's too late. That's too
It's
late.
too late.
This movie is written by a whole slew of folks. Vince Chung, Ben Montanio, Mark Seabrooks, and Linda Look. Linda Look!
Linda, look. Linda.
Linda,
Directed by John Lang.
listen, Linda.
Starring Brenda Song and Shin.
She was in this movie?
Yeah, and Shin Koyamanda.
You have to pick one DCOM star, Brenda song, or you get Allie and AJ. Brain.
What's happening with
For a movie.
They're in more movies?
For a movie, yeah. Or for everything, movie and music.
Ellie and AJ.
Yeah, I'm taking Allie and AJ for the music.
But like, you only get to choose one thing.
Yeah, but
Okay, forget the music.
Okay, well,
You have to have a movie.
You can
It
see why
stars
that would complicate things.
a movie stars Brenda song or Allie and AJ. Which would you prefer?
Brenda song.
Brenda song.
Okay. I mean, that's the right answer by a mile. None of them are good actors, but that's the
But
right
if I
answer.
want to listen to an album, I don't think Brenda does that.
I don't think she does that.
I would
Yeah.
listen to none albums.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
One day you're gonna.
Dan for Office Queen. Had it right the first time.
If I win Office Queen, I will make every day start with an Allie and AJ single.
You will have no rights to do that. There are no rights and privileges of being Office
I
Queen.
promise. when I get elected,
And when I win Office Queen,
Office Queen,
That's right.
we will start every day with candy and a water slide in the cafeteria and Allie and AJ sing along.
The cafeteria, huh?
The cafeteria, also known as this area right here. the
Cafeteria.
movie
Are
kicks
we
off
just turning the stairs into a water slide?
into a water slide.
water
yeah.
slide.
It's actually not a bad idea.
How do we get up?
It's a different. Oh, ladder up,
You wouldn't get
ladder up the window.
Um,
Ladder up the window.
so a real quick story.
Sure.
Just,
Yeah,
sorry,
we have
sorry.
the time. No, it's fine. No, real quick one. No, as long as it's a real quick one,
Go
that's
ahead.
fine. Go ahead.
Just thinking about turning your campaign promise of turning the stairs into a water slide.
Right.
Previous to working here, I worked at an elementary school, and
Mm-hmm.
one the student I worked with one year was running for class president or like class representative, whatever. It was for his specific class, not like his grade. And his campaign promise was Dairy Queen every Friday.
Yeah.
And he won like unanimously. And I was like, buddy,
You're up against it now,
Dude,
bud.
I've got news for
next
you.
Friday is gonna be rough.
Yeah. Yeah. But you already elected. That's the whole thing is what are you going to do now?
Well, then he realized that he had to go to student council meetings every week.
This is my kid when
And we
he
did
won class mayor. And his promise was no homework and candy every day
Yeah,
for Mayor Thompson.
that's how you get the vote.
No homework and candy every day.
Well, we've got candy every day and water slide over here.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, it doesn't. You're
Is your son related to Brand?
No, but he's been to this office and seen that we basically have no homework and candy every day
right.
here. So he probably was like, this is how grown-ups act.
yeah.
They go to work and they watch movies and eat candy.
That's true.
and complain about their HVAC. That's what they do. That's what they do.
Some of us.
All right, the movie kicks off in Asia. We know that because of map. We see some monks practicing their fighting, and then the elder monks walk up and shows a picture of a girl who I guess is a part of a prophecy. This girl is who we need to find because she is the key to, you know,
The whole
fighting
thing.
against the big bad.
Big bad.
Cut to a girl who looks exactly like the prophecy picture. Her name is Wendy Wu, and she's very cool. I guess she's like more popular, and she's running for homecoming queen.
Mm-hmm.
And she also begins to notice that she has really good like reflexes. She's able to like catch stuff and stuff, and it's like, whoa, what's going on here?
She takes
Yeah.
a tube of lipstick and chucks it at her brother who's eating a cookie, and it
Yes.
slices that cookie perfectly in half.
I will say this, but you know, we're going to do overtime later. I am, you know, Ms. Wu's acting, no, not Ms. Song's acting leaves something to be desired. But the shocked that I can, you know, like Tobey Maguire when he becomes Spider-Man and he's shocked he can do these things.
Mm-hmm.
Her shocked I can do these things face is really good. It's that's a skill set that she does have, which is like, oh my gosh, how did I just do this crazy thing? And it happens all movie long, and she does a good job with that, and I want that on the record.
Okay, well there you go.
And that was Dan for Office Queen?
Dan for Office Queen.
Dan for Office Queen.
I promise nothing.
To keep up with her rival Jessica Dawson, who is passing out
Cold
raisin
seltzer waters
cookies.
that Aaron will provide.
There you go. Jessica Dawson's passing out raisin cookies. Maybe you've heard about them.
Raisin
Don't know why you would
cookies.
do them, but
Even oatmeal raisin. Get out of here.
but Wendy is intimidated by this, and she commits to making cupcakes despite having no real idea.
Cupcakes
how
were
to-
also a contender for Delish, but we've had cupcakes the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So.
Fa-
But
no,
also
listen, fair. This is good.
cupcakes. Oh, speaking of which, I looked for those red velvet cupcakes when it was finally in my eating window and couldn't find them anywhere.
Oh.
And that was hard for me.
I think they were in the fridge.
Womp womp.
Did you think about asking?
You were for a reason. Some reason you were not here at the moment that I was asking. Aaron wasn't.
Where was I?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was the day I stayed late. I stayed later than everybody.
No, it was the day they did a Making the Merge. I left during Making the Merge.
That's what it was. That's when I was looking.
Okay, because I passed them out to everyone who was recording Making the Merge.
Man, that's tough. That hurts.
Sorry.
Man.
Boy.
I was about to sneeze, but I fought it off.
And
Just
you're
like
gonna
Wendy
vote.
Wu?
And you're gonna vote for Aaron for office queen after hearing that?
I passed them out, and anybody who wanted one got one. I don't know where you were.
I went to pick up smoothies for everybody.
No, this was at like 3 p.m. You were not picking up smoothies at 3 p.m.
No, I went to pick up smoothies earlier that day. Maybe it's a different day. Maybe we're crossing wires here. 3 p.m.
So one night,
Go ahead, just go back to
one
Wendy.
night at a museum, this like ominous looking box shows up. It begins to glow green. So clock that.
Clock
it's important. We then see that one of the monks shows up in California to track down Wendy Wu. He tracks her down at her house and he knocks on the door and tells her that her time has come again. Whatever that means. They get into a little bit of an argument, and Wendy knocks him right out of the front door. Get out of here. Don't watch you. So he stays outside of her house to keep an eye on Wendy Wu. Good thing she does that, because the glowing box thing possesses the security guard, who then passes it to Wendy's brother, who delivers a pizza to said security guard. Are you trying? So
Brand can
now,
make so much progress in the synopsis when
When
you
we
and
were
I are
talking
distracted.
about the calendar. I know, it's good.
so Wendy Wu's
But now we're back.
Wendy Wu's brother is now possessed by the green glow, and comes home, and the monk is obviously watching still from outside and sees what's going on there. And so he sneaks in and gets in a big silent fight
So
with
silent.
Wendy Wu's
most
brother.
silent
And it's
fight.
important that it's a silent fight because Wendy is sleeping on the couch.
It's also important to note that this movie has taken its cues from the popularity of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which came out 5 years before. These fights throughout the movie, highly choreographed, a lot of stunt doubles, and a lot of like jumping and floating and defying gravity, but only in certain instances when you can use.
That was the end of defying gravity.
Was it?
That was pretty close.
So, it is.
Do you want me to do it one more
impressive-
time? And now that you
Please.
know it.
No.
No,
Go ahead.
we're-
Let me
So
close
now-
this here. Go ahead. Oh, there it is. I got it now.
Now, are you defying gravity or defying graves?
Both and.
Whereas most DCOMs before this that featured any fighting or action at all, it was pretty pedestrian or just outright
Yeah.
terrible. This, like,
Had
a
some
lot of
actual stunt
emphasis is
coordination.
being placed on these stunts, and it's impressive.
They're like soaring
Yeah.
from the staircase down, and
Are
like,
they soaring and flying?
they're soaring. They're flying. There's not a star in heaven that they can't reach while they're fighting because of how
Yeah.
well the choreography is.
It was a good fight scene.
Yeah, really good.
And they let Brenda sleep the whole time. So
That's right.
Yeah.
Good for them.
You
Yeah,
gotta-
like a
you-
cat,
So
not
nice.
like Frankenstein.
So nice.
You gotta sleep sometimes.
Like,
Okay.
listen, if you're gonna fight, that's fine. But
That's
like,
right.
let me
Quiet
stay
fight.
out of it.
It's a quiet
So
fight.
while they're fighting,
Also,
eventually
they destroyed nothing in the house.
They crushed it.
Beautiful.
saved the fish. The fish almost died,
Saved
but
the world.
they
Oh, yeah.
didn't. They got the fish back in. He uses like this necklace. What is it? An
It's
amulet?
like a
How would you
pendant
say it?
or a medallion.
Yeah. And that causes.
Amulet was good.
Thank you. There's lots of different words you could use even.
You're so good at words.
Thank you. And
yogurt.
And trying yogurt. So proud of you.
thank
Baby
you.
boy,
Thank
I'm
you
so proud of
guys.
you.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody, for your
Brand for office
encouragement.
queen.
Ran for office queen. He tried yogurt.
Never stop trying
He
new
tried
things.
yogurt glaze in a cupcake.
That's right. And I would do it again. So
If you will eat a whole cup of Dannon yogurt that I choose, I will give my full support for you as office queen.
I don't need your support. Nor do
I'll
I
do
want it. nor do I want it. Okay, so it uses the thing, and it causes the green to leave Brother's body and go into Dog, and Dog then runs out of the house. So
Yes.
Again, clock it.
And they immediately notice that their dog is missing, right?
They don't seem to care.
Yeah. The dog is a big part
They
of
don't
this.
seem to care. The next day, the monk tries to stop Wendy on her way to school to give her that necklace because she's going to need it. And he just keeps doing this by yelling, "You're in danger!"
Doesn't explain
And
himself.
apparently that's
Doesn't
not what
yeah.
people like to hear.
He just like shows up with holding the necklace, and then he's just like, "You have to wear this." And you know what? Good for Wendy for being
For
like
saying no.
stranger
Stand your
danger.
ground.
Yeah.
Hopping in a car with her friends and being like, drive.
Get out of here.
Because we know that guy's not a bad guy, but
She doesn't.
They don't know that.
yeah. So
don't know that.
good lesson. If a strange man walks up to you and asks you to wear a necklace with no explanation,
Don't
run
say
away.
yes.
But if you think that's
and
going
if you're
to
trying to protect somebody, maybe use some words.
Yeah.
use some words.
Explain yourself.
Take after my friend Bran. Use those words that you know so well.
Use those words you know.
Amulet.
Amulets.
Nah.
Emulate Bran.
With an amulet.
Getting
With an
an
amulet.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So
Classic amulet situation.
she
It's an amulet situation.
they're able to make it to school, but if you think that's gonna like stop him from watching her, you'd be wrong. He is in the bleachers during soccer practice.
Schools are notorious for letting anybody and everyone,
especially
in,
just strange men.
especially in 2006.
Come on in.
He of an unknown age. I don't know how old this guy is. And she does like this crazy triple flip kick thing during practice. And she's like, "Oh, I didn't know I could do that."
And nobody cares.
Yeah, you know how sometimes you just stumble into doing a triple flip kick and you're like,
Yeah.
"Well, I guess I can do that now."
When you are a mediocre high school soccer player and all of a sudden you pull out that spin move
Spin move.
and nobody cares, I'd be like, did anybody else?
mediocre.
Just...
Did you see how she ran past that defender who wasn't trying?
Yes.
She's very good. After practice, he finally talks to her and like uses some more words, gives her the rundown.
We love more words.
Gives her the rundown on what's going on. Basically, he claims that Wendy is the reincarnation of a mighty female warrior.
Obviously.
Amen. And the only one who can prevent an evil spirit from destroying the world.
You know.
And so, like, that's something that most people hear at some point during their life. And it's really up to you on how you're going to respond. She does not believe him. And people are beginning to ask about who this random guy is
Fair.
that is hanging around
More
her.
than fair.
Like,
Good friends, really.
That's right.
hey,
and
Wendy, we've noticed that guy who was chasing our car the other day, he's been hanging out. Like, who
So she
should
has to-
we call somebody?
So she has to like come up with some sort of excuse, like it's my cousin.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And it's a
all
custom
good.
in China
It's
not
a
to
custom.
call ahead.
That's right. So she finally,
Which is not true. That is her excuse, and everybody just buys it.
Yeah.
I will say Asian family, you can show up and just stay as long as you want. That is fairly customary.
And why can you say that, Dan?
Because my wife is
Okay.
Asian.
I
Yes.
just I know you think that everybody knows your family familiar history. Familial?
Yeah.
Your family history.
But
I
in
know
America,
some
you would not
people-
do that. In America, you wouldn't do that.
There's
Like
some
you-
people that might
So
not
I
know that
can't just
about
show
you.
up.
Yeah. John Mulaney tells a great story. Have you heard it on
No.
when he married Olivia Munn, where her uncle says he's coming to visit and then he waits all day to show up and he shows up at like midnight and just stays as long as he wants to stay. And he's just like, this is just what happens in her family. It's just kind of normal. But not normally in America. That's a very interesting exception, I guess, to that rule.
All right, well,
Yeah.
I'm coming over.
She finally gives into
When? Who knows?
Who knows?
the request from him to train her, and because he agrees that he will also tutor her in world history,
Yes.
something that she needs because she needs to get her grade
And her
up.
midterm for world history is all about ancient China only.
Well, that's good. It's good for
Yeah.
everyone.
She can't run for homecoming queen if she has a C.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's notorious. High schools are notorious for putting a GPA
Does she need to
qualification on
to get
homecoming queen.
I thought she needed to get it up to a C.
She had to
Or
get.
maybe.
The way I understood it was she needed to get an A on the exam to get a C in
Yeah.
the class,
Right, because she had an F.
because she had a D or an
Guys,
F.
do the
math.
do the math. C's right there in the
House
middle.
of Little Debbie.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So she needs that if she wants to be Wendy Wu homecoming
Queen.
queen.
She doesn't want to be a warrior right
And
now.
so like training,
she's getting there.
like, yeah, I'll do the training, but really it's
about
motivated
the
by
world history.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. But they end up hanging out more. They even go shopping to take Shin from monk to hunk.
You got it.
Their words, not mine. And it's great. It's
Also,
great.
it turns out the tutoring is really more just you have it all in your head.
That's right.
Already.
You just need to.
You know it.
You need to do
unlock
some yoga.
it. Lived it.
You do some yoga. Like, yeah, you can remember everything.
That's right. Something you need to know also is she has a boyfriend, I guess.
Oh,
He's something.
Yeah, but they end up breaking up at a dance party.
He's angry she
That's
didn't
happening?
coordinate her outfit with his.
Yeah.
It's a classic high school boyfriend move.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the number of times
So many
I was
times.
like, why aren't you
You know
coordinating with me?
I'm gonna wear a black shirt.
Did you? I'd like to believe that high school Dan used to wear a lot of colors.
I did.
And
I still wear, you know this.
I
If
know.
I'm not here, I don't
Yeah.
wear all black.
True story. I did. Dan and I were at the same baseball game one time, and I couldn't find him in the crowd because he was wearing a blue shirt.
With a neon flat bill hat.
Walked right by him like three
It's like,
times.
What are you trying, Dan? This is just what
But I
I
would
wear.
like to believe that high school you just wore a lot of colors. But I'm gonna assume Sarah, you went to a dance and she wouldn't coordinate with you, and so you said, you know what,
That's
from
right.
now on, wearing black.
So
So I will
angry
always
about it.
match Sarah.
So angry. That's right.
It's the day that Scott died.
That's right.
So
The day that Scott died.
he ends up getting a kiss on the cheek from someone else. Shin does getting a kiss
Yeah,
on the cheek.
he does a dance battle.
Does a dance battle, and this makes Wendy jealous because I guess she's into him.
I guess
it was hard.
Kind of.
It was hard to read what was
Yeah.
going on between these two, but this I think really solidifies it that there are
Yeah.
some feelings involved here.
And sometimes you just don't know until you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it was that she told everybody that
It's her
he's
cousin.
the cousin, so
Yeah.
like that
That makes it weird.
That confuses us too.
Know that I know that I know that I know that I know.
So Wendy then storms outside, takes off the necklace, throws it down. Unfortunately for her, is immediately confronted by her friend Tori,
Dims
who
the
is
brakes.
now possessed by
By the green.
the green
Yeah.
the green
guy.
gas.
the green guy.
And but luckily for her, Shin comes outside and he and Wendy are able to take her out, and he gives her the necklace back, and they get right back to work on the training.
She's like, oh, maybe I'm in a little bit of danger.
Yes. And so Shin even gets her teachers involved by having ancient monks
the
possess
weirdest-
their bodies.
The weirdest training sequence.
Yeah, because basically we're going to bring in these other elder monks, and they are going to
Who have been
train you.
basically who have been training you for
Yes,
centuries.
that's exactly right. But the concern is
She doesn't care.
people are going to be talking.
Oh, that's right. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to fight an old guy in a park.
Yeah. And so
So she fights an
she
old
fights her
guy in a
teachers.
park.
She fights her teachers. No one's gonna ask. So they possess different teachers, and they come and they're teaching
I
her
just think if
different
you're in
things.
a park and you see some like kung fu training going on with two children and a monk, that's not as weird as three middle-aged white men
Weird.
Yeah.
or three middle-aged white teachers and the one middle-aged black teacher fighting a female child.
Yeah.
Weirder to me, but you know what?
Did anybody consider let's not do it in the park?
No,
Let's do it.
apparently park was the non-negotiable part of
Yeah,
this.
we have to do it in the park. It's good. Fresh air is good.
Yeah.
So
You have to fight your teacher who will not take off his sweater vest.
does some great fighting, does some great training. Her training is now complete, and gets a
Yeah,
call
she's
from
amazing. She's like up on the top of the gazebo, balancing on one hand.
Yeah, and
The way she cartwheeled up that light pole.
She's learning
Whoa.
world history and martial arts at an accelerated pace,
Yes,
to
exactly
say the
right.
least.
well, because
she has it all in her. That's the thing. I mean,
she's centuries old. She's
Yes.
reincarnated.
so I do
She
think
just has
that's
to tap into her knowledge.
You
Duh.
laughed, Dan,
Duh.
but I think that is part of it. Part of it is like it's all coming back to her. So
Yeah.
it's not the same as you
Correct.
and I learning
Part
something
of it.
new.
She was there for world history.
That's exactly right.
She was there the whole time.
Yeah. And so she gets a call from her friend. Good news. She won Homecoming Queen. We love that. But she gets mad at Shin when she finds out that the big battle is going to take place during Homecoming.
Which is just weird. Like, is it in the legend? Like, how does
yes,
he like?
Shin knows exactly.
So it
when,
happens at
yeah.
the same time every
I guess
reincarnation.
So. I guess it happens at the same time, and also Shin always has to sacrifice himself.
Yes, that is his lot in life. Is
Yes.
he trains her and then he dies.
And so Wendy's mad
What a
that
time.
Wendy's mad that he knew the time. Wendy's mad that he is emphatic on dying. It's like I thought we had something special here, basically, and you're like insisting on dying.
So she decides, I'm going to the dance.
I'm going to the dance. Which, by the way, what they say when she leaves is that I'm gonna come out during halftime. So I guess this is just the homecoming
game.
Where
And she gets crowned at
the game, and then the dance.
Yeah,
whatever.
that was one of the more confusing parts of this.
Because they keep talking about the dance, and then she says, "I'm getting crowned at halftime."
When do you guys remember when your homecoming dance took place? Like, do you remember like in the schedule of homecoming? Do you remember when it took place?
I want to say it was the next night. It was the Saturday after homecoming.
Yeah, it's almost always the Saturday after the Friday.
Yes.
Well, I'm just going to go back to what I said at the beginning of this episode where my high school didn't do homecoming.
Yeah. I just like the idea. I thought maybe they still did like a dance, like a themed dance during that time.
No, it was in later in October. We did Harvest Dance, and it was a Halloween dance.
Yeah.
That's more fun.
It was so fun. Like you would get together with your group of friends and do grouped costumes. And I remember, I think I was a junior, and a group of seniors did Mario Kart, and so they all had costumes on. They all made like cardboard cars with 3 balloons, and they spent the whole night just like running around the dance floor trying to pop each other's balloons. I stand by my high school not doing homecoming because we didn't have any of this. Like, we didn't even do prom king or queen. Like, we didn't do high school royalty.
What a weird high school.
We had a lot
it
of
was
fun.
a public school.
I loved my high school. Like,
shout out.
Had a great time.
There you have it.
But like those are my memories. Is like we went to a high school dance. We all like wore coordinating costumes, and we just ran around and had fun for an evening.
Now, I'm not trying to question your memory.
Okay.
You are somebody who likes a themed costume.
You love a theme.
Is it possible? And hear me out. Is it possible it was just you and your friend group?
I wasn't. I wasn't.
I'm just throwing it out there. I know you love themed costumes. Perhaps you convinced your friends there's no such thing.
But do you think I love themed costumes because this was my upbringing?
I don't know. I
don't think it was nurture. I think it was nature. I think you were born loving a theme. Don't give me this nonsense where like I was around so many themes. I just I fell in love. Don't know. BS.
I am not trying to gaslight you into
The Mario Kart group wasn't my wasn't my group.
But what I love about the Mario Kart thing is that is a great costume, but it simultaneously could ruin a dance for numerous people trying to take a dance seriously.
No one's taking Harvest Dance seriously.
But
in my mind,
like your memory is it ruled. There's someone out there that was like
these bozos,
these mofos with their Mario Kart balloon popping, which makes me laugh so hard.
You just don't go to the Harvest Dance. We had other dances.
In my mind, there actually was homecoming, and Erin and her friends just showed up
as theme. Like, you mean Harvest Dance?
Havoc.
Yeah.
We're going against the grain.
That's right.
We're not going to dress up.
Yeah, everyone wore formal gowns, and I showed up in a Supergirl costume and said, watch me.
Right. That's right.
That's exactly right. It's a theme. So the green gas guy.
Erin didn't have hungry. She has no business being office queen. I want that on the record right now.
Wow.
I'm not giving a campaign speech. What I am saying is Erin doesn't deserve it.
Guys, my high school didn't have homecoming, and I never got that
And then she brought store-bought cookies, having already eaten one.
I ate more than one.
Erin for
How
never
many
queen.
were in the box?
I don't know. I'm now questioning because I think I had 2.
Well, but that doesn't make any sense.
I know.
I think you must have only had, it's a dozen.
No, it's
cookies.
odd. It's odd.
It was a
It's
dozen
an odd
cookies.
number. You had to have one
brought
or three.
11.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
10, 11.
All right. So
one for you,
have-
12.
There couldn't.
There
have
wasn't
been
a
more than
baker's
12
dozen in there.
I'm gonna.
How about we just look at the box?
Yeah, it should say 12 count on there.
No, 13 count.
What?
13 count? Who is doing this? Hot Publix. You're selling cookies by the baker's dozen? The hell is going on?
All right, I feel better because I know that 2 were eaten the other night.
So they did sell a box of odd numbered cookies.
Yeah.
Dude, there's no order in society anymore.
This is what
It's
I've been
all
telling you
going-
guys.
You know what?
Hot
You know what?
Publix isn't
Brian
all
for
it's
office
cracked
queen.
up to be.
Brian for office queen, everybody. The world makes no
13.
sense anymore.
13 cookies.
He's not even here.
I'm gonna go grab a box of 13 cookies.
But do you
guys want?
recall where the 13th cookie was in relation to the stacks?
Was it like this?
Was it like this?
No.
It was
stack
on one
was higher.
side,
It was 2 stacks.
and
You
one
can't
side
do
was
that.
higher. You can't.
You
pup.
can't
You
do
can't.
that. So the green guy has now entered the body of her rival Jessica, and she goes to the museum and gets a handful of
This is my favorite thing we do.
of the terracotta warriors to come to life. So she now has a little bit of a gang of sorts, and so Wendy gets ready.
Gangrene, if you
Gang-
will.
And Wendy
It's right there. You can't expect me not to say it.
Sure. Wendy gets ready to go get crowned, but when she finds out that Shin is on his own for battle, she goes with her teachers.
She's like, that
There's-
dum-dum's going to kill himself.
The ancient
And she really just goes out of like begrudging hate for him.
the ancient monks did not leave the teachers' bodies. They just were like,
No.
this is actually
This
pretty
is
done.
good. This is where we belong.
And so they all go to help and join him and to defeat
It is
the
like my
baddies.
favorite part of the movie when you see these 4 middle-aged teachers.
One
Like-
of
like-
whom is doing a voice, and that's too bad.
We don't need to talk about her. But
Yeah.
like
yeah.
for those actors, like those actors are never going to get cast like in a kung fu role. And I just was like, this is that fun time where you get to learn some fight training. And like, I thought it was fun for them.
Yeah.
But overall, 0 sense, but it was fun to watch.
Somehow she has a new.
And they refuse to take off suit jacket and sweater vest.
No.
We'll be fighting. Soccer coach, she's
Fighting
ready.
what you came in. You know.
Yeah,
But
that's
the
right.
other
Those
three-
are the rules. You got to fight in what you came in.
Yeah.
She does something new. She has a new skill, which is to create a glowing ball of light and shoot it out of her hands. And so she does
Yeah.
that, and that does the trick. Jessica heads off.
If you had been training and that had never happened to you, like you didn't know you could
Yeah.
do that, and then mid-battle you find out you can do this, do you not take a minute to be like,
What the?
Yeah, I would be pretty like.
because I'd be like,
well, that's worrisome.
hey guys,
You didn't
you
tell
didn't-
me.
we didn't cover this in training.
Is this normal? It's normal.
Can someone, what?
So
Can I
Jessica.
do it again?
Jessica is now back to being herself. She heads off to Hoko, if you will, and everybody is good except all
Wendy's
of the
like,
terracotta
I know
warriors.
I won, but I'm giving it up, so I
Yeah.
declare you the winner.
That's
Yeah.
good. The terracotta warriors come back and they join together to become Mega Warrior.
Yeah.
The big bad.
Shin once again is dead set on dying.
Well, he was
And
like, I thought it was weird I didn't die this time. This
Yeah.
makes sense.
So he's like, I'll sacrifice myself. I volunteer as tribute. And Wendy's like, over my dead body, and
Maybe
saves
literally.
him, and with more glowing lights of sorts, and changes his destiny. Wendy and Shin fight and destroy, I believe, the bad guy forever. Who can say?
Yeah,
it's it's a change of destiny.
I'm a little confused on the legend, but it's like for centuries we've just been fighting the big bads like underlings, and now we've actually gotten to the final level here
yes,
because they're like, that's it, no more legend, legend's over.
that's right. And so the
Shin can now live out his life, and once he
That's right.
dies, he's dead for
he's
real.
dead for real. So I guess
Which he accepts so quickly, and I think knowing that I've been reincarnated for hundreds of years,
and then this
finding
is
out
it.
that this is it, like I think I would need a minute to be like, okay, like
Is
what do
that is it also it for Wendy, or is Wendy going to keep coming back?
I don't know. I was very confused by
Because
that.
his journey is always that he
protects
dies
her?
in a sacrifice and then he gets reincarnated. But now
We broke the
changed
cycle.
his destiny,
Yeah,
but
I
her
would assume-
destiny
I would
remains the
assume-
same. You
Well,
would
there's
think.
no one to fight anymore. Like they did it.
They did it.
I-
Well, there's
think-
always going to be
Live
someone to
forever.
fight.
Immortality.
Anyway,
Maybe it'll be one of those things where like, if another threat arises,
yeah, maybe.
but or maybe like she'll keep getting reborn, but like in a like not need to go through training until another threat arises.
Yeah, maybe. Wendy and Shin.
I don't know. Writers of Wendy Wu,
let us
all
know.
4 of you, if you want to reach out.
Let us know.
Takes a village.
Wendy and Shin.
Linda, look if you
Linda,
Linda, look.
want.
Let us know.
Let us know what's going on.
Let us know.
Let us know,
Also,
Linda, look.
yeah, Just hit us
And
up
if you
at-
know why there would be 13 cookies in a
Yeah,
box
that
with
that
two
is the
stacks.
mystery of life right there.
Wendy and Shen then decide that they're going to go do normal things like get cappuccinos and chocolate.
Yeah.
And then instead of going out,
Grandma's gonna make mooncakes, and
Right.
he says, "I've been eating mooncakes for centuries. You know what I haven't been having for centuries? Cappuccinos."
That's right.
That's right. But instead of running out the front door, they run.
Which is
to
also
the-
why I definitely brought Dan and myself coffee this morning.
Delish.
Made it yourself.
Nothing to do with double points at Parlor Donuts.
They don't run out the front door. They run back into storage, and we
Well,
don't know
I think
what
it's
they're
because
doing.
they're running away from like her teachers and her family. Like they're all heading in one direction, and she was like, "Let's go the other way."
Do you think they're like? Are they a thing? Are they?
Oh, they're for sure a thing.
All right. Okay. And that's Wendy Woo, everybody. That's a Wendy Woo
Hey.
Homecoming Warrior. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about it some more, share our thoughts, make our rankings,
Or our lists.
Make a list.
if you
That's what
will.
M stands for. DCOM.
Comment.
Yeah.
DCOM descendants. I hate myself.
Aaron for office queen.
Nah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
Oh boy, so good to be back, Brand.
It is good to be back.
Yeah. Early polling has me in the lead.
Where are you getting this data?
I
This is
can't. I
fake news.
can't. I can't tell you.
It's fake news.
The polls are all saying it. Is all I'm saying.
polls are all saying it. I have a feeling you're making up these poll numbers.
No, they're real.
Show me.
What are the numbers
There's
actually
hundreds.
saying?
Show me.
What are the,
Hundreds.
I
what
wanna
are the
see 'em.
numbers?
Hundreds is all I'm going to give you. Hundreds.
How much are you up by?
So many.
Some polls are saying
So many. Many.
See, I
The
don't
mini
think those are
polls.
your polls. I
There's
think
so
those are
many
rollover polls from a
polls.
previous
There's
administration.
so many
Those are probably my
polls,
polls.
and they're all saying hundreds. Is all I'm saying. Many
they're
of
all
them.
saying hundreds.
They're all saying hundreds. Many of the polls, most of them, all of them, they're all saying
Is it
hundreds.
most or is it all?
It's all.
You
No,
said
see, I
And
don't
I've
know.
been clear about that.
I think
It's
those are
all.
my polls.
Many of them are mine, and they're saying hundreds.
All right. It's time for
Dan for office
overtime.
queen.
Yeah.
That's
You
where
get it.
we share our thoughts on the movie. First, I'll read some Letterboxd reviews from people who have also watched this movie recently. This is from Clementine, who gives it 3.5 stars. It's actually really good if you ignore that it's bad. Emmy,
That is as accurate a review as I've ever heard.
Emmy says 4 stars. Grandma coming in with an outfit change in the middle of a huge battle. Iconic, truly. I didn't mention that in the synopsis, but yes, she does come in and says.
Well, because Wendy's wearing her homecoming dress, and she's got to change into her warrior dress.
That's exactly right.
Still a dress.
You have it on. You have it on hand. Danny Nicole 94 says 2.5 stars. You can tell this movie was trying to teach Disney Channel watchers about Chinese culture, but like all Disney movies, seemed a little bit racist. Stephen Klein says shocking amount of this movie is Wendy accidentally making people think that she wants to F her cousin, and Dr. Leonard McCoy leaves a long review, and I'll read it now.
Yep.
Found it difficult to concentrate here after the first 15 minutes introduced a high school student who promotes her campaign for Homecoming Queen by appearing as a guest weatherman on the Weather Channel. I initially assumed that this was a surreal dream that the main character had, but characters continue to refer to the Weather Channel guest spot as if it was something that actually occurred. This is simply not something that could happen on the real Weather Channel, and I was ultimately unable to get past it and enjoy the movie. Fair enough, Dr. Leonard McCoy.
Dr. Leonard McCoy really hung up on the weather guest
I mean,
spot.
I think on a local, like public access, yeah, you totally could. But also the amount of high school students
That are
who were
watching
watching,
it
that's
is so
the
stupid.
unbelievable part
Yeah.
to me. Is
Not that she did it.
Yeah.
That it mattered.
When I was 16, the amount of times that I made sure to catch the 6 o'clock news,
Yeah.
I did it.
Let's would it shock you to find out that I watched it on the
No.
regular?
I wasn't allowed to watch much TV. My dad watched 20 minutes of news in the 7 o'clock news every night. So that was like one of the few things I did watch. However,
you got to get the top of the hour,
I-
the big news, and the
in
weather,
sports,
and
and
the
weather.
sports.
Yeah, you're 100% right. This doesn't move the needle for Homecoming Queen at all for her,
No.
in my opinion.
No, I mean, I caught a little
Unless
bit. of-
she told everybody at school, "Hey, I'm going to be on the news tonight. Watch me."
Which, no. I mean,
Any-
I would catch the tail end of the 7 o'clock news because my shows would start at 8.
That's exactly right.
And then you'd catch a little bit of the 10 o'clock news.
My programs.
After they asked, do you know where your children are? And I was like, yeah, I'm right here. Then you'd watch a little bit of news.
I'm
and
in
go to
front of the
There you
TV, like God
Yeah.
intended. All right, let's share our thoughts on this movie. Are we more Leonard McCoy? Are we more?
bed. More not Leonard
Nicole
McCoy. I'm
something.
more
Are we
of the
more
first
Clementine?
One, where once
Clementine.
you get over how bad it is, it's pretty good.
Aaron, share your thoughts on this movie.
Yeah. So I had this thought while watching the movie, and I have not stopped thinking about it. Whereas I think this would have been a great TV show. Maybe you lead in with this movie, but I would love to see a 20-minute Disney Channel sitcom with Brenda and her cousin / potential boyfriend just getting into hijinks, saving, the town, the world, whatever, from threats. But you wrap it up in a nice little story. Maybe each week deals with some, either like a Chinese artifact or some story from Chinese history. So we're getting a little bit of a culture lesson, some hijinks. We get to see Wendy Wu go be a warrior and save the day. And then we just get like sitcom goodness. And then it would be really great too, because like if they had done this back in the early 2000s, we could be here in 2025 with a reboot where Wendy has a daughter who is now in training. Like it just, I feel like it was tough to watch because there were moments where like nothing seemed to be happening and we had some dead air, and then we'd go into a 20-minute fight scene that at the end of it nothing happened. So there were these moments where like the movie didn't need to be a full hour 30. And I think it kind of lended itself to be a shorter bit. More fun than I thought it was going to be. This is a movie that is iconic in the sense that it's Brenda's song, Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior, but not one I watched a ton. And watching it back, I kind of see why, like, it's not as hijinksy. But yeah, I mean, it's enjoyable if, like, I can't remember who said it, but if you can get over how bad it is, it's enjoyable.
That's Clementine.
Yeah,
Clementine,
good little
shout out.
Clementine. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I guess would have liked more Wendy Wu content as a child.
Yeah, fair enough. No, this movie slaps. I had not seen this movie.
Ever?
I missed it. I missed it growing up.
He met you talk about it.
So it's Wendy Wu.
It's Wendy Wu. Come on.
So that goes back to my point of it
Huge
being,
Brenda song fan.
iconic.
Had never seen it.
Even if you
Yeah.
hadn't seen it, you
That's
knew
right.
Wendy Wu.
You knew
You
Wendy
knew
Wu.
Wendy Wu.
Yeah.
Homecoming queen.
I do think like a big part of this was by 2006, I was a little bit more pick and choose with my DCOMs. And I
Fair.
think
I was too.
this movie airing in the middle of June,
Which you were in full vacation mode.
full vacation.
vacay.
My guess is that I was
Yeah.
probably playing like hide and seek in the cul-de-sac with my friends as the sun went down
So
while
that
this movie
10
was
o'clock,
premiering.
do you know where your kids are? That was for you.
That was for me.
you.
We could
Yeah.
like
You were
I
still in
was
school.
I
I
was
was
out.
in
Yeah,
school.
you were still in school.
I was definitely
would-
home, but you
I
could have been
would-
hiding in the bushes.
I would be out well past the
Yeah.
streetlights coming on.
I
And
mean, if you picked a good hiding spot,
there's nothing you can do.
they would need to come find you at 10 o'clock.
There's nothing you can do. So I think that's why I missed it, and I just never, I never ended up watching it. And I wish that I had, because I think I would have really enjoyed it as a kid, and I really enjoy it now. I think it's a really fun movie. The fight scenes we've talked about it, but really well done,
Yeah.
especially for a DCOM. Like really fun, a really cool look to it, and I was impressed by that. And is the story a little bit, I don't know, convoluted? Sure. But it still works overall. Really enjoyed myself. Dana?
Yeah, I think that a lot of time and effort was put into the making of this movie, which always, is points in my book. It always helps a movie when there's clearly a lot of I looked up the stunt coordinator for this movie. I've not done that yet for a DCOM. So that should tell you that they were doing something right. And when I heard the title Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior, I immediately was thinking of Buffalo Dreams and Tiger Cruise and a lot of other times where DCOMs have been tone deaf culturally and historically. This movie, around the periphery, is some unfortunate events like the PE teacher doing a voice. But by and large, it doesn't like make the grave mistakes that some of these earlier DCOMs make. And the choreography is really fun. Does it have some spots that nothing happens? Yeah, it has some spots where nothing happens. Is it a little bit long? Yeah. I kind of like the TV show idea. Sure. But there are moments when the movie really works and the fight scenes are very, very impressive. And the plot, you dive into the plot right away in this movie. A lot of the things that make DCOMs immediately fall into the back half. We've watched 63 or 4 of these movies now. movies that end up immediately in the 40s or 50s for me are movies where it meanders for 20 or 30 minutes. It feels like it lasts for hours and hours. I don't understand what's going on. None of those things happen in this movie. So it's way better than the average DCOM, in my opinion, because of the fight scenes and because it gets right to the plot. So yeah, I mean, I also think my kids would have freaking loved this movie.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is that while it may not be as high on my list, I think right now, if I showed my kids this movie, they'd be all in on Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior. So it gets
So when I come over?
that. Yeah, absolutely. Aunt Sharon can watch it with them whenever.
Oh, we love
There
it.
you go.
Sharon.
You need to come over and show them High School Musical because Dave's never going to do that.
I'm never going to do that. I don't know why I would do that.
Because it's a monumental
It isn't.
movie for all children.
Movie
What if
came out 10 years
your
before
kids
they were
love
born.
High School Musical.
They freaking love it.
Why don't we just have an Aunt Sharon night where I just take all 4 kids and we watch them High School Musical,
Go for it.
and we have a massive dance party.
Set it up.
Go for it.
Set It Up is also a good movie, but not a DCOM.
Got to kick it up.
Gotta kick it up.
Season what? Let's get to our list.
We just have DCOM night with Aunt Sharon.
Let's get to our
New
list.
podcast. We kick you out.
That's right.
We
Bring
get
a
your
kid
kids in.
Yeah. Go for it.
Where's this movie going to land on
me and
our
a bunch of kids
list?
reviewing Disney movie.
I'll start with you, Sharon. What'd you think? Where's this movie landing on your list? Did it break the top 10?
It did not break the top 10, but it is a lot higher than I thought it would be. Especially like before I watched it, I was like, yeah, I've seen this. She's a warrior. She doesn't.
She's a homecoming. She's a warrior.
Like she's popular, but she learns the lesson of like giving up that life for, I guess, warrior life. I don't know. But very much like there are DCOMs that I own and I watch repeatedly, and this was never one of them. So I figured it was going to be more towards like the lower half. And surprisingly, it's going to air at number 18. It's going to premiere at 18 on my list. So
18.
Okay.
All right.
behind Quince and ahead of Cheetah Girls. Cheetah Girls is really becoming that defining like moment in my list where I'm like, it was better than that.
Yeah, this movie's better than Cheetah Girls.
Cheetah Girls just gets like the soundtrack bump where I'm like,
Yeah.
It's a soundtrack bump.
I was listening to Radio Disney because I am still a child at heart, and Cinderella came on the other day, and I was like, yeah, I still love this soundtrack.
I'm happy that Cheetah Girls is still getting airtime on Radio Disney. That makes me happy.
Yeah. So anyway, 18, top 10 has not changed. 10, Halloween Town. 9, Get a Clue. 8, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. 7, Phantom of the Megaplex. 6, Smart House. 5, Johnny Tsunami. 4, Right on Track.
Right on
3,
Track.
Cadet Kelly. 2, High School Musical. And 1, Motocross. And I will note it hasn't moved yet, but I've been thinking about Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
Oh,
It's
And that's
from
at 23 on my list. And
23.
I know.
Caroline Ray. That movie is.
I know.
Aaron Shea, that's an iconic DCOM, and you have it at 23.
But that's also a
But
movie.
it's not one I watched as a kid. Like, it's not, for me, it's.
That's a movie that I would call, like, if we were doing
Yeah.
Deck the Hallmark, real movie territory.
Yeah,
like, it's a
one
well-made
that
movie.
So this is where my list gets like, there are the iconic ones that I know, and those get like, I know where those fall on my list. And that was one that I kind of saw for the first time as an adult. But much like you with Phantom of the Megaplex, like I keep thinking about it.
No, that's fair.
And so it's.
I have less of it. Like, I have Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire all the way up at 4.
Yeah. It's in my
I've
top
never
10.
thought about moving that. Whenever I look at Phantom of the Megaplex, I'm like, I like this movie better than it is. I don't think that about Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. That movie is as good as I like it. Like, it's a good movie. Phantom of the Megaplex just worked for me because I love the movie.
I mean, but
theater.
we rank our lists a little differently.
We
Like,
do. I didn't wa-
mine is like the deciding factor for me is which one would I rather watch again.
I'm unburdened by my childhood memories of these movies.
Yeah,
you
I'm
guys are
yeah,
not.
I have those
Yeah.
memories that are fighting with my 15-year-old self on Cheetah
right.
Girls every day of my life over here.
Movie sucks. So bad.
I just want to wear matching jumpsuits and sing in the middle of a New York City
That's
street.
so
I
fair.
don't
That's-
I don't know
that's
what
so
you
hard.
want from me.
Come on.
Brand, would you wear a matching jumpsuit with me?
Heck yeah.
Okay, great. We'll get DCOM tracksuits.
Speaking
You
of
want- you
Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
Here for a theme. Let's do it.
Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is just outside of my top 10.
Yeah.
It's at number 12
4
for
for
me.
me.
And I have Wendy Wu coming in right behind Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire at number 13.
Wow.
That's where it's premiering on my list.
13.
My top 10 is unchanged. Phantom at 10, Full Court Miracle 9, Smart House at 8, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
A better movie than I think any of
7.
us thought going into this.
Yeah.
Cadet Kelly at 6, Get a Clue at 5, High School Musical at 4, Motocrossed 3, Johnny Tsunami at number 2, and the greatest movie of our time and anytime, Brink.
I will say this is what has stopped me today from moving up Mom's Got a Date, but it is behind Brink. So if I move
Hilarious.
it up, Brink drops down.
That is hysterical. Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is just a better movie than Brink.
This is just purely based on
Based on your
childhood memory.
childhood nostalgia. That's all it is.
Brink is Brink, and
Brink is Brink.
Brink is Brink.
Brink is Brink.
I thought I would have Wendy Wu maybe the highest of anyone. I have it the lowest of anyone at 20.
Okay.
Okay, right
And
where I have it.
Yeah, I think it's ahead of Going to the Mat. It's behind
Yeah.
Pixel Perfect. Now, Pixel Perfect is a very problematic movie.
Yeah.
But if movies are
You
really
love the idea of building a dream girl.
yeah, of course, that's what I do. Weird Science, big fan of that movie.
Talk about it a lot. That's right. That you mentioned
Every day I
That's
come in,
weird.
it's like if I were to craft a perfect female.
It would be Sarah, my wife, and
That's
I
right,
did it.
Of course. That's right.
Yeah, that's what he always says.
Made Sarah in a lab. Spoiler. So my
Sarah,
thing is,
who's 100% listening to this
that's right.
episode.
Yeah, big DCOM Descendants fan. My thing with all my movies that are in the top 10 or top 15 or 20 that are not in the top 10 are movies that I think go by quickly and are more entertaining. So like they don't have Pixel Perfect is bonkers new, but I do think it goes by a little bit quicker than Wendy Wu. And that's why I gave it the go ahead. Like Luck of the Irish, I think Wendy Wu's a better movie than Luck of the Irish. But Luck of the Irish is so crazy and goes by so quickly
This land is your
that I
land.
feel like there is something to be said for that. Great, go ahead. Sing the whole thing.
California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
There it is. So yeah, I've got it at 20. I could make a case for really it being in any of those spots, 16 to 20, but I like it at 20. My top 10 has not changed. Halloween Town, Full Court Miracle, Scream Team, Get a Clue, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, Phantom of the Megaplex, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, Johnny Tsunami, Cadet Kelly, and Motocrossed at 1, where I get the feeling it will remain for the entirety of this podcast.
If we get to the end of this and motocross is still both of our number ones, should we go dirt bike racing?
We should totally go dirt bike riding. It will be a
Something
fun
you can
theme
do.
where we hurt ourselves.
Right. Well, we did, everybody. Congratulations to us. Come on back next week for Read It and Weep. Read It and
Read and Weep.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So come on back. Until then,
The DCOM all day.
decom your life away, everybody.
DCOM Descendants is a Bramble Jam podcast produced by Brandon Gray and the Bramble Jam Network Podcast Studios. Yeah, that Greenville, South Carolina. Follow us on the socials at DCOM Descendants. Follow us on the web, dcompodcast.com. To watch us watch these movies live with full commentary that may or may not be about the movie, go to BrambleJamPlus.com, and please, for the love of God, go to that Apple Podcast and leave us a review. Vote for Office Queen here. Get us to 300, whatever it takes. Bye-bye.